webinar. I really hope that I'll be able to help you out with the pseudocode difficulty that I understand that every computer teacher faces. So, as you know, it's a free workshop, and apart from that, I will be sharing a little bit about my company and then we will start. So, first, let me tell you about myself. My name is Megha Saraf. I am teaching computer science in IGCSE and IB from past 12 years. Recently, I've started my own company where we are providing trainings to students and teachers. So it's all related to IT. So basically, this is my company's name, Belmax. So if you know, many of us, like when I joined as well, because what we learn, what we apply, it's like there is a lot of gap between that, right? So 22% of teachers still feel that they are not very confident about technology. And there is also, if you see, the IT skill gaps among teachers is huge. Only 18% of teachers in India has undergone any formal training in digital pedagogy. Even after COVID, this is the data. 79.34% educators are still undergoing some form of trainings. And we also understand that all the challenges that are faced by the schools, because we understand that the curriculum is rigid, we have a lot of syllabus to finish, there is a lot of practice, exams, activities, because portfolio for the students is equally important. So keeping that in mind, we have started a mission that we want to train and empower 1 million students and teachers with practical IT and problem solving skills by 2030, bridging the employability gap and driving India's digital transformation. Sorry, I am pausing. I am just trying to admit people. Second. At Belmex, we are trying to build a bridge between schools' challenges and the students and teachers' need. So, we think these three sectors, which are called analytical skills, creative skills, and AI, if we train our teachers in these three sectors, I think the problem that our teachers are facing can be solved. Being an ICT teacher, computer science teacher, I understand that we don't face these problems much, but yes, the other teachers, if you see, they do. We have seen ourselves how the teachers in our schools struggle. So that's it for about my company. I really hope if you can invite us to your school, or if you feel somehow you can help us in training 1 million teachers. That is the goal. We are aiming till 2030 and we have just started. So if anyone can be of any help with us to accomplish this goal, it will be a great help. All right. So now I will start with something that I have called you here for. Thank you for listening out about my company as well. So we will be starting with the pseudocode training. So when we start teaching pseudocode, actually the first problem is that students are so much scared, right? They are so scared with pseudocode. They always say, "Oh, pseudocode. Now how do we do? We don't know programming at all." Some students know Python. They have done it in the previous grades. So that in that case it becomes a little easier, but still, yes, pseudocode is like a phobia among teachers also and students also, right? So what I do is I will teach you the technique which I use. I'm not saying it's the best technique and you should use it. Excuse me. But this is the technique which I always use and it actually works. All of my students, they are doing very well with pseudocode. In fact, they are scoring much better scores in paper 2 than paper 1, because you see paper 2 always has a structure that is always there. So when we start, how I start is I always start with these 6 techniques that we use. I really hope my handwriting you are able to understand. So there are 6 techniques in pseudocode, right? For new teachers, I'll start from the very basics, and those who already know, they can just have a quick recap. So instead of starting that we do this, we do that, I start with these 6 techniques. So as we know, first is total, second is average, count, max, min, and then we have linear search and bubble sort, right? Our whole pseudocode is divided into these parts: linear search and bubble sort. I counted it six because generally total and average they are like quite a, just a difference of a line. So I counted one, then count, max, min, linear search, and bubble sort. So keep this as your target that you have to teach students these six sections. It's like the ABCD of making the words, right? So first we know what are alphabets, we understand the sound of each alphabet, then only we can create the words. So when they know these techniques, then only they can build a code. Unless there is a doubt in any of this technique, you will never ever be able to accomplish the goal where the student can create code on its own. Because in examination, we can practice as many questions as we want. But we have seen that Cambridge never stops from giving us surprises. So every pseudocode paper you see, every time it's a little different than what we expect. So the if the techniques are strong, they can easily make any pseudocode like very easily, right? So in total, like as we know, the total is where so how can start. So you can teach them the total, count, max, and min. These four they always needs to be initialized. So how can they remember that total, count, and max? They're all initialized with zero, right? Min is always initialized with the largest number or the first element of the array. So when I say largest number, I simply mean, like for example, if the range is 1 to 100, it can be 100 or 101. You can always take one extra. Or I have students who say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. In that case, the worst thing is I tell them take a number very big. Take any number which is very big. Or they can do is they can simply initialize min with the first element of the array. So let's say temperature is the array. So they can initialize it with the first element. Same with max. They can initialize max with the first element of the array as well. Right? This is the initialization. The second part is processing. How do we calculate each one of this? Right? So for total, it's quite easy. Total, we just write total is total plus, let's say temperature is the array, day is my first counter, or you can just to make it simple, we never write that, but just for our understanding, I am writing here row and column. You can either use row and column in separate squares, or you can write row comma column, both are accepted. Okay, this is one way. Always remember row first, then column. This is how a 2D array is named. Row first and column second. Right? Now total, count, max, all this initialization processing we are doing. The first total, this is how we do total. And average is simple total by the number. So total by the number, like whatever number, it's 24 or what. Generally it is column if it's for each, and row if it's for the whole. That I'll explain you what do I mean by each and this whole. So total by whatever is the suitable numbers we have counted, right? I'm continuously getting invites. One second. All right. So that's how we do average. Now next comes minimum and maximum. So always start with total, then average. So they feel okay, average is so easy. It's just one more line in total. We will combine them together later. First, let's understand initialization. This is how we calculate, and then we will going to combine everything together. So total is total divided by whatever number we want. Okay. Then next we have minimum and a count. Okay, let's do count first. So count is count plus 1. Here you clearly show them the difference between total and count, so they don't get confused. Okay, count is like count plus 1. You can explain the techniques and all. Okay, I am just teaching, explaining you like the flow you can use. But yes, you can take as many days, because there are so many questions that what is count, average, total. So all this you can keep on explaining with your own techniques. That's not a problem. But this is the structure you can follow, right? Then we can teach them count. After count, uh, after count we can teach them next min and max. Okay, so min and max you can teach. Min initialization we have already told them. Next is if min is greater than, or you can do the other way around, if temperature is less than, always tell them if it's a 2D array there will be two indexes, basically row index and column index. This is called index. So row indexes and column indexes they have to use the current vocabulary with them. So when they write also, they can simply write the word index. They can use the word like array, less than, greater than, everything like the small words. Just make sure they know this. So if minimum is greater than temperature, row and column, for example, then we'll change the value of min with this, right? And we do end if. Similarly, we go for max. I'm sure you already know all these things. So first teach them these techniques. Linear search, you can wait for linear search and bubble sort till they are introduced well with the array. Okay, you can just introduce a little bit array here, or you can change it like minimum maximum. You can use 1D array. I am using a 2D array. Please start with 1D arrays. Okay, this is the first part. Now when they understand this, then you can start some simple questions, like you can give them a array of numbers instead of simple questions. No, always teach them with 1D array. It is easy, because initially no everybody shows interest. What happens with a student, they have a psychology like this, that the moment they feel something is difficult, many of them give up there only. They say this question I can't do it. So before they start taking that impression, it's better let's teach them the most difficult part itself only. That okay, so see, this is how we do it. So let's say the question is find the total temperature, find the maximum temperature, minimum temperature, all these kind of questions with one array. Take a temperature array, or like marks array. With one array, first you teach them all the techniques. Okay, so teach all the techniques with one array. With one array, because they feel that array is familiar to them. So let's say you did total, then you did average, and then we asked them to calculate the minimum, maximum, and everything. Show one array to them, because the agenda is not to make them feel that it's scary. So you do one question, give same set of questions to them with another array. That's it. Only change the array, not the questions. So you teach all the techniques with 1D array. Then next you can do is give them a similar question. Give them a similar question with another 1D array. Let them have the confidence that yes, I can do it. Oh, it was so easy. Oh, it was so easy. Let it come from them already. Oh, it is so easy. If they find it easy here, then only they will try for functions and other things later. Otherwise, if they give up in the array part, I have seen that they just don't want to do it another time. Okay, so this is 1D arrays. So you start from this, you teach them techniques, you give them the arrays and everything. Now similarly you teach them with 2D array. Once you feel that your class is confident with the 1D array, then give them 2D array. Then you can teach everything, all the techniques with the 2D array one by one. Take time, and I think after that they will be ready for the 15 marker. then make them try 15 marker without functions, procedures. Don't introduce it here yet. Go slow. After this, you can introduce them with 2D array. I will share this with you in like a little bit organized way. Okay, introduce the 2D array, and after this you can give them simple 15 markers which they can try. Now the formula which I have, I don't know if anybody else also uses it, but I have like invented it, you can say, by myself, but I'm not sure if it's good enough for you also. But I generally do it this way. So what I do is I divide my code into five parts. Let me show this to you. I say for row 1 to whatever the limit is, for column 1 to limit, then we do next column, and here we do next row. Before making them do 15 markers, you can teach them this formula. So if you see, generally this is a general structure which we see in all the 15 markers in 2D arrays. I divide my code into five sections. This is section 1, this is section 2, this is section 3, this is section 4, and this is section 5. So I am dividing my code into five sections. Okay. Now I am going to make them understand that there are two types of questions. If you see all the 15 markers, they ask row wise calculative values, and also they want the whole arrays total. You know? For example, let's take total for an example right now. Let's say we that temperature question, I am using it for an example today. So there is a question, no, where the temperature has to be taken for 24 by 7, 24 hours and 7 days. Right? There was a question. There is a question, if I don't know how many of you have tried that before. So there is a question in the paper, one of the papers, where they say ki there the temperature is recorded for 24 hours and 1 day on 7 days. So it's 24 hours and 7 days. You know? So 24 is, so if you make the array, it is like, and it's mentioned there that 24 columns. So when they say 24 columns, just a second, I'll just admit there are people coming in 1 second.
Hello. Sorry for interrupting. Would you kindly scroll up? We see the five sections that you divide your code into.
Yeah, sure. I'll repeat this also. I'll share the file also, Mr. Patrick. So this is the first section. So basically, I divided it into five sections. So this is the beginning. No, first is the beginning. Second is between the for row and for column. Third section is the next column, and fourth section is between the next column and next row. And then the last section is the end of the program. Okay. Then this example where it takes 24 hours and 7 days, right? And it says 24 columns and 7 hours. So it means we have 7, 5, 6, and 7 rows, right? We have 7 rows and 24 columns. Like this, we have 24 columns. Now, please understand that when we design the code, we design it only for one value. Basically, we are designing it for one value, then we are keeping everything in the loops. We are coding only for one cell. Rest everything, if you see, it is all from the other cells. Okay, it's everything, then we put it in the loop, 2D loops, and then row and columns, it's easily calculated. So we need to design only for one cell. Okay, now what I'm going to now what we do here is okay, now there are two things here which we have to understand first. One is row wise calculation, and second is whole array calculation. Okay, whole array. You can use the word whole, overall, anything, whatever is comfortable. So one, for example, let's take the total. I am taking one criteria total, one technique, but you know there are all other techniques comes like this. They want maximum temperature of the day also and maximum temperature of the week also. Is it not practice to write the, yes, that is what we are doing, no? We are writing the rows first and column. You are saying like 7 into 24. That's okay. It's not in the array. In the array, we are going to write row first and column second. Yes, I told it in the beginning only. Yes, we write it row first and column second. So row wise calculation is whole array. Okay. Now they say find total temperature of a day, of one day. Similarly, find minimum temperature of one day, maximum temperature of one day, maximum temperature of one day, count how many, and everything can be done here. Okay, total, minimum, maximum, average, and count. Next, it says total temperature of whole week. Whole week. What is the total temperature of whole week? Now, same thing, minimum, maximum, everything for the whole week. So when they say for one day and when they say for whole week, this placement, because you see maximum questions follow this, like give me row wise, like they say for each student, you know. The keyword here is each. When they say one, they always say for each student, for each day, for each like patient, you know, for everything it's each. So whenever this word is there, we initialize these in second second section of the code. We calculate it in the third section of the code, and we output at fourth section of the code, except average, because average is calculated at third section of the code, and we output no, average is calculated at fourth section of the code, and output at the same, displayed at the same time. So average, calculate, and output at the same time. Okay, so except average, all other techniques for each day, for each patient, for each student, it is initialized in second section, which is this section between row and column. It is calculated in third section, which is this section, and we display it in the fourth section. But whenever they say overall, like whole week or any overall information they want, we initialize in section 1, we calculate in section 4, and we output in section 5. Okay, we initialize in section 1, we calculate in section 4, and we output in section 5. Now to prove this, I will show you a similar kind of question which I can try. I think it's only 224. Maybe I can just take 10 more minutes. So for functions and procedures, I can keep another session. And I think today we can do this much only. So let's try a question. You remember the question? Let me see if I have the question with me. Just a second. Let me see the question. One second. Okay, I'm sorry. Currently, I'm not able to find the question. I should have kept it ready. So, that simple question. Let me explain you the question. I'm sure you'll understand. So,
You are muted.
oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. Thank you. All right. So, I am unable to find the question. So, let me explain you the question. I remember it. So, the temperature array. There is an array which it's a 2D array temperature. It contains temperature for 24 hours and 7 days. It generally says whole week, so it's for 1 week. Now these 24 hours is the column. Okay, they specifically mention that this is the column and this is the day. So it's similar kind of scenario which I explained. Now what we need to do is we are going to find out average, total, maximum and minimum temperature of the day, and total, average, minimum, maximum temperature of the week. Okay. Now again, I'll do it the same way. I'm going to divide my code into 5 parts. So I take for, I am taking row as day and column as hour. Okay. So for row, for day 1 to 7, for hour 1 to 24. Okay, first let's initialize. So because we have to calculate the same things for day also and same things for week also, we'll keep it as day and week. So here I write for, okay, for day total it is 0, day max I'm making it mark as the first element of the array, day min first element of the array. We don't need to initialize average. For week total, I am going to declare it in section 1. Remember, this is 1, this is 2. So for week total, I am going to initialize it with 0. And same thing, week total, week max and week min. Now the problem is week max and week min, we cannot initialize with temperature 1 comma 1. Why? Because it will compare the total. It will compare the day max and day min. So either you can initialize it later or you can skip it here for now. So in 1, we will initialize everything that is the whole array ka first part, right? Second, we will initialize for each day. Now, as mentioned, we are going to calculate for each day first and then whole week later. So first and then in the third part of the code, I am going to calculate everything. So I will write day total, day total plus temperature 1 comma 1. No, sorry, temperature row comma column. I'm getting disturbed with this. Okay, temperature day comma hour. All right, so this is how the total is calculated. Similarly, you will calculate day max here and day min. You have to calculate that. You can do that. Then after that, we will go for next hour. When I say next hour, now I have the total. So let's say I have to output the name of the day and then we will output the maximum, minimum, total and everything. So to output the name of the day, you can use simple case of day here. Day is my counter. This row counter, I can just write if it's 1, output Monday. So in this case, I don't need to make an array. This is another way to do it. One way is to have an array in the beginning and then do it. You can see it in the mark scheme. It's there. and so on. You can simply have till Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is, output Sunday. Okay, so this is first we output the name, then we have to output the total temperature of the day. So I am doing output total temperature of the day, and I am going to output here day total. So day total. Similarly, we are going to go for the next after day total. We will simply have maximum, minimum. You can output everything here. But now here, this is my section number 1, 2, 3, and this is my section number 4. Now in section number 4, we have to also calculate for the whole week. Okay, so just let me see. It is not showing next page. Okay, so just let me write at this side. Okay, let me write here. So what happens is the whole week, what happens is now after this, we have next hour. Here we will calculate for date. You will output everything. Output day total, day average, and everything here. Day total, day average, day max, day min, and count. Day count. If there is any day count. Now we will calculate week total. Calculate week total, week max, week min, week count here, not the average. Not the average. Okay, we will only can count these 5 techniques here. Then you will do it, and here we will write next day. This was my section 4. This is my section 5. So in next day, I am going to find, now here I will output everything and calculate average. So here output week total. You can output week, maximum temperature of the week, max temperature of week. You can output min temperature of the week. And similarly, you can output any count if there is any count. Other on you can output average, week total divided by 7. Here we will, here similarly when we output the average here, so we have to calculate an output which will be total, day total divided by 24. So if you divide your section into 5 parts and then you explain it to the students, you will find it really easy to explain, and they will also remember it. And slowly, they don't even need to remember this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will just remember that this is the position where I have to explain this, where I have to write this, because every time they ask, ma'am, where to declare, where to declare. So maybe this will help it out. I really hope I'm able to help you here with something. I understand like there are a lot of things in this. If you want any particular thing like functions and all, so I can take it up next in the next session. Now let me quickly share with you the attendance link which you can which you can fill. There is a feedback form also there. And if there is any particular doubt about this formula which I told you, then you can ask. Yes, Ankita? Okay, I can I am reading the chat. 1 second. Questions are also based on column wise. It's not a practice. Yes, it's a practice to go for row wise. But yes, if you see there is one question where they have particularly asked for column wise, in that case, you can switch the index. Everything will be same. Only when we are calculating, we switch the index. I have a lot of questions I have, because like I have a booklet of like more than 50 questions. But as you can see, I am a little clumsy. So I will arrange it together and then I will share it with you. So it's a full book. It's a full book I have, like with more than 50 questions with the marking schemes and all. So I will definitely send mail it to everybody. Just give me 1 week to compile everything in a neater way and then send you. Yes, Ankita.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hi, my mic was not working.
Acha, acha.
Uh, yeah, the thing what I want to know is my students get confused in 2D arrays for the rows and columns. Right, for the sum which we did right now,
Hmm.
we did the same question last week in school,
Okay.
and my students took hours as the rows and days at the column, so they don't get it what to use and which for loop to use, because always they have to analyze what is the row and what is the column,
Yeah. So if
and
you see,
then your week total and day total gets incorrect.
okay, so see, there is in week and day, it's very easy, right? Because in a week, there are days. So that in this scenario, it is always easy. So similarly, when we go for marks and students, because students have marks, no, we need to calculate for
Mm.
one student. If it's 15 subjects, then one student at 15 subjects. It cannot,
Correct.
it can be other way around, but we try to keep the entity as the row. And when they're writing the question, you will see that they always write like a 2D array contains this. They have now they have started giving the specific column names as well. Like first column, if you remember the 2D dimension laminate question, they say
Mm.
it has length, width, area, everything.
Mm.
So columns, they
Mm.
are mentioning that it has 5 columns and the rows.
Yeah,
Similar,
in this
right?
question also,
You
which
have
we've
to
taken, there are
comprehend.
7 columns, one for each day of the week.
Hmm.
So, can we take columns as Monday, Tuesday, 1 to 7, and rows as 24?
That can be done. It depends on the question. See, but it's very difficult to calculate if they want for each day.
Yeah.
If you, I understand what question you're talking about, where they say column, like we
Hmm.
need for a week 24/7. They're
Yes.
mentioning, and
Yes.
in the question they are asking for each day. So
Day.
when they say each day, the day will
Hmm.
be your row. This is also a hint you can use. Like in the question, you can see whatever they are asking for each, that will
Day.
be the row, and the other
Okay.
thing will be the column. But in that particular question, while calculating total and all, we have to switch the index. Like hour will come first and day will come second. Only just while writing the index, you can switch here. Then
Yeah, yeah.
everything will be same. Rest everything will be same.
Correct.
This is a
Because
trick question. See, when we teach, no, initially you can skip this kind of small things because they comes once in a while. Even if the student misses it, for example, it is
Hmm.
hardly like 1 or 2 marks maximum.
Okay, okay.
So in
That's
like instead of, like, we know the level of our students, no, so it depends if you think that yes,
yeah.
it's important. Otherwise, if you feel that okay, losing 1 2 marks is okay at, if, because it's a very rare scenario, very rare scenario.
No, basically, I thought that was a concept clarity on 2D array.
Hmm.
So they need to have the concept clarity on
You
2D array.
can use,
What
because
should be the outer?
we try to explain them. They don't initially they will not understand. Initially, if you
Yeah.
tell them, they will never understand, but
Hmm.
they will definitely understand it later. Abhi, right now we are just telling them tricks to do it, and then slowly they will start understanding that why this is happening also. Instead of starting from why, let's start with the tricks and techniques, so that later on you can explain them slowly why. They will themselves start asking them why this is happening, why in this it is there and that is not there.
Hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hi Preeti. Yes, Preeti, please unmute and speak. Thank you for
Hanji ma'am, it's the same question which ma'am has just asked.
mm-hmm.
It's very important to make the students understand the 2D arrays before we proceed. So unless they're clear about the outer loop and the inner loop, the question would definitely go wrong. And uh, what I want to know is from the question how to make out which is the row and which is the column, because uh, I've seen only in IG exams they make it so confusing that one cannot make out. Otherwise, these are very general things and easy to decipher which is the row and which is the
Which
column.
is the
But
column. Hmm.
Yeah, but in the, like, even when you are talking, you're saying 24/7. So 24/7, if you look at it in from any point of view, 24 would mean a row and 7 would mean a column. But in our case, we are taking 7 as the row and 24 as the column.
Because 24 is mentioned in the question, that 24 columns. In this
No,
question, if you see it mentioned, but it's mostly always like you see the question, if they say each day, calculate for each day, calculate for each student, when they give the bullet points, you have seen now that there are bullet points.
yeah,
So
yeah.
even
No,
the,
sometimes one can make out, but in most of the questions I've seen in the 15 markers, it's difficult to find out which is the row and which is the column.
let me see
That
if
is
I
what
have an
is.
example for you. um when you need nothing shows up. One second, let me see if I can explain to you this with an example. I'm trying. There is a question. Okay, we have this question.
Ma'am, ma'am, could I suggest something? If you could take up one full question for in one session, if you could take up only one 15 marker completely, and we can decide which one which we would be covering, so that even we can go
Yes.
through that question and be ready for it. And
Yes.
then
Yes.
stepwise, if you could, make us understand that question.
Yes, sure. Yes, we can do that. There, maybe I will have more time to explain you that why we are taking this. So that's how. What I was saying this is, if you see 1 week of the week,
Right.
whole week, so each day. So this helps me to understand that which is the row and which is the column. I generally figure out from this. So each day is a row because they
Okay.
say each day. If I want to calculate something for each, it has to be a row. So this is just a
Okay.
trick if it works. Maybe one
All right.
complete session, I think many people are agreeing. So yes, I will take for sure. And of course, I'll keep my resources much more ready this time. All right.
Hanji.
Okay. And there is a attendance link in the chat which I want all of you to fill, because I will create certificates for you from Belmax Learning. And because, as you know, we are targeting 1 million students and teachers to be equipped with anything that you need related to IT. Even if your school, if you need, we are also offering summer internships to the students if it's an online internship. But I so maybe let me just quickly give you a, yeah, so this is the internship for students. We are offering 3 internships, and all the certifications which my company provides, they get 3 college credit points recommended by ACE. So even if your students are looking for portfolio building, they want to do something especially for CS. So you can share my number also. Maybe we can help them by helping them complete this. So they'll get certificates from Microsoft, Apple, Meta, Intuit, Adobe, Autodesk. So we are a partner with them. Pseudocode, it is because I'm teaching from many years, so I know that. That's why I wanted to take it up. I really hope I am able to help you all. Thank you so much for your time. I will have you all fill the attendance link, because I'm sorry then I won't be able to send you the certificate if it is not filled. Those who have filled, thank you so much. I will share your certificate on your mails, and I'll see you next week. Yeah, I've shared the link again. I've shared the link again if anybody has joined. Today I was admitting people even at the end of the session, but next time I'm sorry I won't be able to do that. So we will keep the meeting open for 15 minutes in to enter. If somebody enters in the first 15 minutes, it's okay. Otherwise, I'm really sorry, because it gets very distracting for me also. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I really hope I'm able to add some value to your session. Please share your feedbacks on my DM so I can put it in my company's portfolio. Apart from that, if you want to record a video testimonial for us, you can do that. Thank you so much. Yes,
Would you
they.
kindly share the contact?
Yeah, yeah, yes, please.
Would you kindly share your email or a way we can be able to communicate to you?
Yes, sure, sure. I had this slide, but I forgot to share. You can write from here. It's info@, belmaxlearning.com. I will share the recording, Miss Vatsla. Thank you, Mr. Vakar. Thank you, Shubham. Yes, Shubham, there is a certification. Please fill the attendance form for the certification. This is the link. You all can email me if you have any doubts. Please DM me. I am in the group only. Maybe I can arrange a session on the basis of your requirements. And if you want to do any Python, Excel, or any other courses for your own career opportunities like Microsoft Excel expert and all, you can always reach out to me. I'll tell you personally. It's a 3-day process. Yes, Shubham, we have a lot of courses for the teachers. You can connect with me. Okay, thank you, Mr. Walker. If you are interested in Python, so we have self-learning modules, and all these courses you will get certificate from Pearson. You know Pearson, so it's because I think in IB and IGCSE Pearson is a big name. So all of our courses are designed, and you will be certified from Pearson. I will arrange
Uh,
sessions for Python also. Yes, AS and A
would
level
you be
computer
open?
science I do teach. Yes, Mr. Patrick. Sorry.
Would you be open to a similar training for writing pseudocode at AS level?
For AS and A level, yes, but AS and A level, I am not that experienced as I am in IGCSE. But yes, I am teaching it like I have taught many students. So yes, I'll be able to help you out. So you want for Python, or is it for the theory something we want? Python only? Mr. Patrick, is it for paper 4 you want, or for the other papers also?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know the question was mine. Yes, for the paper 2, AS Cambridge,
Many.
and also Python for paper 4 at year 13, A level.
Yes, sure. Python, I can take the workshop.
Okay.
Will
Thank
you
you.
guys be okay if I keep only the Python workshop paid? In that, I can provide you a self-learning module also for Python. That will be very much helpful for you for teaching also and for yourself also.
Yes,
All right.
that would be helpful.
I'll keep it. I'll keep it very reasonable. Only the charges will be for the module which I will be sharing with you guys. So that in that you can access a self-learning module with inbuilt labs and everything. I will show you how it looks like.